So, welcome to today's podcast. This is 22nd Century Management with Ken Edmonds. I am fortunate to have with me as a guest today Naresh Vissa. He is the founder and CEO of Krish Media and Marketing. That's a full service e-commerce technology development, online and digital media and marketing agency and solution provider. He is the #1 best-selling author of 50 Shades of Marketing, Whip Your Business into Shape and Dominate Your Competition. And he has a new book, From Nobody to Best-Selling Author, How to Write, Publish, and Market Your Book. He's the co-host of the Work From Home Show. He has a master's degree from Duke University's Fuqua School of Business and has been featured on USA Today, Yahoo, Bloomberg, MSNBC, Huffington Post, Business Week, MSN Money, Business Insider, India Today, Hindustan Times, and other domestic and international media outlets. So we have a real expert with us today, and we're going to talk about his first book, 50 Shades of Marketing, and we're going to look at ways we can apply that in business today. Welcome to the show, Naresh.
Thanks a lot, Kenneth. It's really a pleasure to be on.
Okay, so we'll start with this question. Tell me what led up to your book, 50 Shades of Marketing, Whip Your Business into Shape and Dominate Your Competition.
Well, I had been running my company, Krish Media and Marketing, for only about 2 years before I started writing the book, 50 Shades of Marketing. The genesis of the book was I felt like I gained a lot of knowledge, a light bulb, a light switch just went off in my head when it came to the online and digital economy, online and digital marketing, and philosophies behind effective marketing. So I said, I need to put my ideas, put some data and research, put some strategies and resources down on paper and share it with the world. So that's what I started doing in early 2015. I just got in front of my computer and every day spent about 30 minutes writing and writing and writing, maybe just writing half a chapter. And by the end of that summer, I would say by the end of August of 2015, I completed the book. It went through the editing process. I got Dr. Philip Kotler, one of the world's greatest marketing academics, to write the foreword. And the book released in October or November 2015. It's gone on to sell extremely well. It has incredible reviews on Amazon. You can get the book there on Amazon. I go back and reference it from time to time because you just can't remember. It's close to 250 pages, I believe, and you just can't remember everything, even if you are the author and the writer. So the main reason why I wrote the book, again, is to help people get started with their business or help them be an entrepreneur within the company that they work for and utilize the marketing strategies and techniques to either keep their jobs or to make more sales or to sell more product or to just take their careers to the next level.
Okay, yeah, and it's kind of interesting because I talk to a lot of people in the brick and mortar industry. My background is the copier business, and the one thing that I would say about a lot of the ones I see is that they're maybe not as effective in digital marketing as they could. So let me ask you this question. What are some ways that traditional brick and mortar businesses can improve their digital marketing?
Well, first off, this question is incredibly important today. Like I said, I wrote the book in 2015, and we are now recording this interview in 2021. A lot has happened since then. A lot has happened just over the past year, in the years 2020 and 2021. And the estimates are that at least 30% of brick and mortar businesses have shut down since March of 2020. At least 30%. When it comes to the restaurant industry, for example, brick and mortar business, that number goes up to close to 50% of restaurants in the United States have shut down. And I know some of my favorite restaurants, they're no longer, the ones within 5 miles from me, they're no longer there. Some of my favorite restaurants, some of my favorite bars, they're no longer there. And so when I wrote 50 Shades of Marketing, I have a chapter in there about brick and mortar businesses. And I said, the next recession that comes, I didn't predict a pandemic, but I said the next recession is going to affect every business, including corporations, tech companies, brick and mortar businesses. Now, on the corporate tech side, the way those businesses are going to get affected, or where they have been affected and where they'll continue to be affected, is freelancers. They're going to start hiring more independent contractors, more freelancers, and start outsourcing overseas because they've realized, hey, I don't need to hire a full-time worker and pay them all these benefits and take up office space. I can just hire an expert for the same cost, or maybe even less, on a project-by-project basis, put them on contract, and voila. I brought up the office space. Those businesses also have completely transformed the way that they do their work. Work from home, of the host of the Work From Home show, work from home has become ubiquitous. Everyone has tried it, and most companies are going to implement it permanently. So in the case of brick and mortar, what do? They can't work from home, can they? No, they can't really outsource. They can't outsource to India or the Philippines or anything like that. So I have strategies in my book, 50 Shades of Marketing, on how brick and mortar businesses can stay in business, what they should do. And those strategies include utilizing social media. If you're a brick and mortar business, location, you're also a real estate business. Physical location, even if you don't own the physical real estate, location is so important. And so you want to target people on Yelp. You want to have good reviews on Yelp and TripAdvisor and whatever online review platform your industry is in. You want to have a YouTube channel. You want to have an Instagram. You want to have a Facebook. You want to be on all social media, have a presence, and you want to update it on a weekly basis with pictures, images, content that is relevant. You absolutely need a mailing list. So if you're a restaurant, for example, create some kind of loyalty program where if someone joins your mailing list, they get a free appetizer or a free drink or free something. Because what you're doing with that mailing list is you're directly connecting with your audience. You cannot just assume, okay, I'm going to start this restaurant in this location and the people are going to come. It requires a bunch of back-end work. A lot of it is marketing work. A lot of it is tech work, because marketing and technology are one and the same today. They were disparate previously, but now you can't do marketing without the technology. So create that email list, send emails to your subscribers, content marketing, write unique content. These are just some basic examples, but another key strategy is to take mobile seriously. Mobile meaning now most people, if you want to find a laundromat, for example, they're going on their phone and they're typing in laundromat near me. That's what they're doing. They're not getting in front of their computers as much. The data clearly shows that the usage of smartphones has gone up rapidly, especially during the pandemic. It went up double digits from pre-pandemic levels, the use of the smartphone. So you want to make sure that that you take mobile very seriously and assume that when someone's looking at your site, when someone's looking at your coupon or your email, it is being done on a mobile phone. Now, I also want to share Facebook offers. So I brought up, you want to have a social media presence, but you can run Facebook ads, Facebook offers. These are like flash deals that can be timely discounts or giveaways through Facebook. And so you can create a Groupon type of deal, offer, again, free teeth whitening if you're a dentist, for 1 week gym membership. You decide based on what kind of business you have. Offers have a really good chance of going viral because when somebody shares or when somebody gets your offer, when they download it, it automatically publishes to that individual's profile, that individual's timeline on their Facebook account. And so when one person does it, then their network sees it, and then more people can do it. So these are all some examples, but I recommend that I definitely recommend that people check out my book, 50 Shades of Marketing, and I'm glad to offer it free of charge. If you visit nareshvissa.com and email me through there, I'll send you a free copy of the book, because there are hundreds of ideas and strategies and resources. I could go on and on for the next 10 hours. We just don't have time for all that.
Yeah, I understand. And it's interesting because I talk a lot. I teach a service management class for the copier industry, and I talk a lot in there about the fact that they need to be, there's a whole module that they need to look at social media and look at, as you mentioned, Yelp and Google reviews and Glassdoor, and just so many places that they should look to see what people are saying about their company. And it's been interesting that so many companies don't have anybody that's paying attention. So there could be negative reviews out there they haven't addressed. There could be just so many challenges. So it's a vital thing to pay attention to your social media. Even if you're not really active, you need to see what other people are saying about you. I'm a firm believer in that. So how will outsourcing and freelancing impact current brick and mortar businesses?
Well, right now, like I said, outsourcing and freelancing, that hurts. It hurts American businesses. That's just the fact of the matter. And you can fight it. You can say that, we need to keep the jobs here. We need to hire locally. But businesses at the end of the day are trying to make a profit. They're trying to not just make a profit, but maximize their profit potential. And if they're able to get a product or a service, or a material or a unit for a fraction of the cost overseas, like in India or Eastern Europe or Mexico or elsewhere, they're going to do it. They're absolutely going to do it because it makes sense from a business perspective. Now, with that being said, when we talk about physical businesses, they're going to have to compete with that. And they don't have the capability, these brick and mortar businesses, they don't have the capability, like I mentioned earlier, to hire independent contractors, to hire independent consultants, experts. They're very pricey. They don't have the capability to outsource overseas to India or to or really to technology. So when I say outsource to technology, I mean, a perfect example is Amazon. In the 1980s, pre-Amazon, you had to go to the store to buy everything. You had to go to multiple stores to buy everything, right? You had Walmart, which was probably the only store back then that had so many goods and items that you could just walk in and buy so many things. But you could spend days just shopping around. Now you just get on your phone, get on your Amazon app, and just add things to your shopping cart, and it's shipped to you 3 days later. That is an incredible innovation through technology, where yes, it has absolutely hurt the brick and mortar businesses. It has absolutely hurt physical businesses, physical stores, but it has made life a lot easier. Always pursue avenues that will make people's lives easier, that will add value to people's lives. Those are the best business ideas.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because you talked about outsourcing, and as small as I am in my business, I wind up outsourcing things on Fiverr. I have a copywriter, and she's based in the U.S. On Fiverr, I have some people that do some some branding work for me that are in other countries, just because when you need a small project, you can get it done quickly and fairly inexpensively by outsourcing. It's a lot easier than trying to maintain a relationship with an ad agency or some of those kinds of things. So there are good sides. It depends on whether you're the buyer or the seller of the product. I think the impact that outsourcing has. Okay, so let me ask another question. What are some digital solutions to everyday business problems?
Yeah, well, the first solution, and look, I've shared many strategies already, but the first key strategy, and this sounds so simple, but you'll be surprised at how many people, how many businesses don't do this. And that is you need a website. You absolutely need a website, whether you're an accounting company, a lawyer, a one-man solo business. You need a website. Create that website. Take the time out to learn it yourself, or hire a company like mine, Krish Media and Marketing. We're not going to charge you more than a few $100s. It is absolutely worth it. It adds credibility. It's easy to tell people to visit a site to find out more information about you and the company. So that's number one. And then number two is what I already mentioned earlier. It's get on the social media. It's take your niche technologies seriously, your niche websites, your niche networks seriously, have presence there. Get on Google listings, get on Yelp and the online yellow pages. You want to be anywhere and everywhere. And my book, 50 Shades of Marketing, provides all these tech solutions, digital solutions to common business problems that all businesses are facing today.
Okay, well, very good. And we will share in the show notes or in the description on YouTube. You'll be able to find links to Naresh's website and to his books on Amazon. So you'll be able to find a way to reach out and learn from him. So let me ask one final question. What's the future of freelancing and small business under this economy that we're in now?
Well, it's what I already mentioned, and that is the future is freelancing. It is outsourcing. It is hiring that independent contractor, that independent consultant. It is outsourcing. So we're already seeing it. The recession came that I predicted in 2015. It came. It was close to a depression. It changed the world. We don't know the exact changes that will be in place, but we can already see many of the changes. And 2 years from now, we're going to come out of this and be like, whoa, we live in a very, very different time, not just from a health perspective, a legal perspective, but also from an economic and business technology perspective. And it's a good thing. This is, over the long run, this is good. This is how progress is made. This is how innovation is accelerated.
Yes, it's not always fun to go through it, but the results hopefully come as we come out of it will be an improved. I think that's going to really change the dynamic. Your show Work From Home, I think that is a perfect piece of that, because so many companies are looking at leaving employees remote, and that of course then, as you start to work with a distributed workforce, it changes the dynamics of your company. It changes technology needs. It just changes so many things. So it'll be interesting to see what the next 3 or 4 years hold as a result of what happened during this pandemic.
Yep, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, well, Naresh, I think it was very nice of you to appear on the show today. For those that are listening on the podcast, do me a favor, go ahead and subscribe on your favorite channel. If you're watching on YouTube, do me a favor, hit the like button so YouTube will share it with others. And you're going to want to hit the subscribe and the little notify bell as well. Again, thank you very much for watching today. And again, thanks, Naresh.